Okay, we'll bring the meeting together. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Just kidding.
PTSD.
Okay, we'll begin with roll call. Bowman here, Laporte, excused. Patterson,
Here.
Frazier,
Here.
Addie,
Here.
Rush,
Here.
Honey.
Here.
Okay. A, approve agenda.
So moved.
Nope. Let's do this first. I'll approve the agenda with the addition of item G to read, set public hearing for 2026, 2027, budget public hearing, March 10th. Our next board meeting at 6 p.m.
Okay, support.
Support.
Motion and supported.
Next board meeting, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do it at 6 o'clock, first thing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Okay, so, public comment.
There's nobody signed up, sir.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to minutes. A, approve the regular board meeting minutes of February 10th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes A and B.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Moving on, approve warrants of $3,801,893.02.
So moved. Support with a roll call vote?
Roll call vote, Bowman, yes. Laporte, excused. Patterson?
Yes.
Frazier?
Yes.
Addie?
Yes.
Rush?
Yes.
Honey?
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on, Park and Recs report, trustee liaison, Rush.
Okay, everybody knows that we've got the schedule of events for the year. We're still trying to get the budget numbers together exactly for the estimates. That should be up and coming. Looks like we're getting good activity on the casino bus trip. Still got a ways to go, and people are showing activity, signing up, so that's a good thing. Other than that, really not a bunch going on. Should have more after the next Parks and Rec meeting, because we'll be discussing some of the, upcoming events and preparations for, the first few events of the year. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Tim.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the Parks and Rec report.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Finance report, Jay Campbell.
Good evening. So you all have my report in your packet, and I only have one thing to update, and that's on the royalties. Today, we did receive a royalty check for the January services. That check was in the amount of $156,859, which is actually about almost $25,000 less than our past 1 year average. I don't know why it was so much lower, but yeah, that amounts to about 14% lower than our last 12-month average.
It looks like it's consistent though with last year's January was 160, so it's consistent with, the January number of last year.
Yeah, which also January and November of last year looked like anomalies as well. The rest of the year seemed a little more what we consider
Used to.
normal.
Yeah,
So I don't know if those are just, I don't know if they're slow months for some reason.
probably was with the winter, especially this winter,
Okay,
January.
all right. That's all.
Motion
Any
to approve the
questions?
finance report.
Support.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Water and sewer, Tabor.
Good afternoon, board members. Good afternoon, township residents. We'll go over the revenue cash inflow February 26th. Consisted of cycles 149 being billed for a total of $349,840.72 in February. Monies collected in January totaled $167,195.86. This included $136 in scrap metal. Our accounts receivable are down $25,647.85. Great job. That's the lowest in a long time. Very good. We didn't do shut-offs in January due to the freezing temperatures, but delinquent totals went down anyways, obviously. I would like to remind the residents that shut-offs begin on the 25th of each month for accounts that have past due balances higher than $200 after penalties have been calculated. The water department. We're finally getting a break from the snow and all the salting we've been doing from this tough winter. And it's going to give us a little more time to concentrate on the parks. We've been cleaning the barn out there. We're organizing the barn and getting the inventory system going. There's a lot of wood chips in the parks we're going to be moving and getting them out of there. And a lot of brush, small projects of brush. We're going to use our new machine, new equipment that you guys purchased me. Thank you very much. Put it to good use. In the water, we've had the new excavator out. We did a service repair. We changed the whole service line yesterday all the way out to the main, all the way down to the main. It was just rotted and had a bunch of concrete sitting on it. We've been out there twice, two or three times, and finally she said she had 3 more leaks. She's like, it's coming out all over. So we chased it back, and there's pinholes all the way down it, so we just took it all the way out to the stop box and down to the main. But new equipment's working great. Thank you very much again. Our parts supplier, we're still working on the inventory. Me and the lady there, we haven't quite got it done yet, but our inventory is up. Hopefully that'll help. Mr. Diversified over here won't have to help me so much. In the sewer, we've been talking with Lynn Hamala from LMC about the start date for the Martinsville pump station. Our goal is to get started, here April 1st, we're hoping, but she's trying to squeeze me in between another job and see if we can get it taken care of. I'm looking forward to getting it done. We're still running on one pump right now, which makes me nervous, but it's been doing really well. No problems. Any other questions? That's about all I got.
Chair, I have a quick one.
Yes, sir.
Ron, the beaver situation out at Benoti Sherwood, is that what the correction we did there, the Wayne County, has that taken care of things out there? Or?
I'm not sure. I went over. I haven't been noticing the beavers. I've checked today actually on Sumpter Road too, and I didn't see the creek. Nothing's jammed up or nothing over there. It's flowing great.
This spring.
Yeah,
But,
because that's the reason I was asking. Last spring,
Yep.
with the water levels coming up, it was just that west side of the beach there.
Yep.
It was just terrible.
Yeah, our machines now. We had that other company come in and did a great job. But we have the equipment similar to theirs now, so we're going to be able to tack all that on our own. We'll keep that underbrush down and we'll keep an eye on that beaver. We now have equipment that we can unclog. If we get a beaver dam now, we can reach right in with a clam, the claw,
Yep.
the thumb, pull it right out. We've did probably a dozen service leaks. We've had service leaks that were leaking for quite a while. We've probably done over a dozen probably, but somewhere around that, right about there. But they're getting better. I'm trying to train these guys how to use the equipment, and it's scary. You can't just let them loose, but they're doing really good.
Yeah, were you able to get somebody from CAT to come out and?
Yep, we had a guy
Okay.
come out and ran us through it. In the future, I wouldn't mind having that training guy come first because there's a lot of safety features on a lot of the newer equipment that he's like, for another 10 grand, you could add cameras all the way around this, so you're looking almost like an aerial view over top of you, so no one can sneak up behind you. And it's just something that's like, you think them salesmen would, you can't put a price on safety because sometimes Ryan knows better than anybody, and people sneak behind you and stuff while you're operating. But the crews, we've been training them, and they're doing really well. Jeremy got a little bit of use on the skids today, back blading over there. On the guy's poor yard over there on Rossville Road, it was rough. You know, we had to dig all the way down to the main, and the main, as you guys know, is pretty much almost under the ditch. So we're getting all the groundwater from the neighborhood coming. We're fighting that, but Ryan from Diversified helped me set up a dewatering system. That's what you guys purchased. You know, I think to go get one made, it's around $5,000, $4,500, $5,000. We ordered the well points, bought the hoses and a banding tool, and we put it together. So I think we got like $2,600 wrapped into it, but it worked really well.
Good.
We did have the pump, so that helped. But yeah, we fought that water yesterday. Really, it was tough. I'm from a city that doesn't get that water, and Ryan loves it. I'm baptized by fire. You guys, I almost hung it up. I was like, holy. We had 3 pumps going, you know, and finally it started drying up, and it was awesome. The new equipment, I was hitting the hard pan down there where the well points were, and it was awesome. It was hard, like all the gravel that we had from the last time settled all the way down, like 8 feet down to the bottom. It's amazing. But the equipment's going out. We're trying to get it out. I'm going to get it over to the park. That's my next goal. Is we got a meter pit to put in and a service to fix, and then we're going to go over to the parks and let them play in there and get them ditches cut. And I'll keep an eye on that beaver. I know when the mating season comes, I believe that's when they all start trying to flex their muscles and dam us up. I don't know. Any other questions?
Motion to accept the water sewer report.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Township manager report, Martin.
Who seconded that? Thank you. Doing double duty here. All right, Mr. Supervisor and Board of Trustees, thank you for having me up here today. Couple of things I wanted to point out that are not on my report that's written in the packet. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to be talking for a while, so strap yourselves in. Number one, on item 12A, the first reading of proposed ordinance amendments, proposed letter of agreement with Carlisle Wortman. Mike Radzik of Carlisle Wortman is here today. If you have a discussion about or questions about anything regarding 12A, he's here to answer them. If you don't have any questions, that's fine. He'll be happy to leave after that item is over. Secondly, on the 26th of this month, on Thursday, at the field across the street there by the pavilion, the Belleville District Library is holding an astronomy event from 6:30 to 8. If you see some activity over there, it's simply them looking at the stars, provided it's not too cloudy. Moving on to the actual report, I wanted to provide you just with some information on the Judd Road proposed paving project. You'll see in the report I've attached an estimate that we received earlier this month when I'm meeting with the county, in which I attended, as well as 3 of your members of the Board of Trustees and Rob Young, the attorney. You see the estimate for this project is $1.7 million. And it's broken down as to, mobilization, aggregate, et cetera, et cetera. I want to point out that this was from July. I have been asking for something like this for many, many months now. I'm better late than never. The point of being July is that we can expect this to be a little higher than what you see. Probably about what I've been told by engineers, about 3% higher. That's not alarmingly high, but it's higher than 1.7. So when we get to this discussion, which will probably be next meeting, or at least in March, just put it that way, I want you all to keep that in mind. I'm sure Rob and I will have some discussion about that, as well as with Hennessy engineers, and you'll all have plenty of time to vet everything. Let's see here. What else did I want to point out to you guys? Oh, yes. You're probably all aware by now that after 27 years of providing contractual accounting services, that Carrie Ford has chosen to retire, and we thank her for her services. We're going to have a little event here today, or Friday, in the office on her behalf. We are collecting donations. If anybody's interested, drop off a small donation at the treasurer's office. And two more things. I mentioned this last month, or last meeting, and I will mention it again. I will be out of the office in the morning of March 18th, to attend a conference held, or offered by the county regarding what data centers mean for local governments. I'm really interested to hear the county perspective on this. As we all have seen in the news, data centers and the idea or the plans for them and popping up presumably all over Michigan. And then on the 19th, happens to be my birthday, I am going to be attending the SEMCOG General Assembly meeting downtown in the afternoon. I'll be here in the morning, but I'll be gone early that day to attend the conference. Does anybody have any questions about anything I've mentioned or anything that I haven't mentioned that is in the report?
So are we supposed to give donations regarding the 19th to the treasurer also?
For my birthday?
Pre-birthday, yeah.
If you so choose, Mr. Young. And I use that term loosely. I mean, the young part. Clever, eh?
It's public flogging. You don't have those left in our website, so.
Very funny. Oh, I'm sorry. One more very important item. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. You all, the board, you have a draft in front of you. A declaration of public safety emergency. This relates to the gravel roads in the township. You all are aware of the condition of the gravel roads, and the supervisor and I worked on this draft of the declaration. It'd be something for you all to discuss and perhaps released after your discussion. I would expect you to address that during 11 board response. And I would be happy to answer questions, but I'm pretty sure the supervisor can handle that too. Thank you. I'm sorry, I almost forgot that. Anything else?
Nope.
I could
Yes,
chime in. I mean,
sure.
I could bring it up at board response, but now, since you brought that up about the roads and stuff, I had, it's not like I don't get a ton of phone calls just on my personal cell, but I've had a couple residents talk about the bad conditions of the roads, and tis the season, it's now, but something was alarming, the report that they heard, that I heard back from them, is that I said again too, like we send it out in everybody's utility bills, like this is the process, Wayne County wants you to call them, get a case number, wait a couple days, they have so long to respond, then call again, keep a track and a log, don't just call the supervisor's office right off the bat. That's the way that they've said that they want it done. Well, this person said that they called, and the first word out of Wayne County's mouth was, "Did you call Sumpter Township?" And I said, "What?" They said, "Did you call Sumpter Township?" Yeah, that was kind of shocking. And she, "Well, Sumpter Township told me to call Wayne County." So I called up, I called up Commissioner Wilson's office and talked to Diane Washington there. I said, "This is concerning. This is the case number, this person they talked to. I want you to find out who it was that said that, because that's not correct." She goes, "No, you're right, that's not correct." I said, if I hear one person's giving me that report, how many other people are they telling that to? That just, it's the wrong message. So at the end of the day, call Wayne County, it's Wayne County's roads, and you, again, there's public service announcement, you get a case number. You report what they want to hear from the homeowners to what it is, how far away, what's this one. This one lady, she said, "I haven't left my house in like 3-4 days. It's just been that bad. I don't want to tear my car out." And she just lives probably 5-6 houses off of Rawsonville on Ware. So you call up Wayne County, you get a case number, you call them again in 2-3 days, you get your neighbors to call, and you get 3 or 4 or 5 people to call. You just keep calling, and then if that doesn't work, then you call us. You call up the supervisor's office, then we can call up the big people. We don't want to just call them all the time and then have them. It becomes like white noise to them. So, but just do the due diligence. But again, too, that misinformation was out there, and just want to make sure that we're getting it right. So she said she's going to follow up. I'll report back later on that.
Sure. Go ahead, Timmy, you were ready to rock.
Well, I think this is the purpose of declaring this public safety emergency. I've heard so many times that we just get the runaround. Call Wayne County Road Commission, okay? They want to hear from the residents, but they never react when they hear from the residents. It's obvious, you know. They'll come out and do a quarter mile of the road, you know, and the next day it'll rain, or you know, it's just an ongoing thing that needs to be solved once and for all. I mean, I talked with the chief today about it and the manager. I think we need to send out a letter to every resident in the township that lives on these gravel roads, okay? And get support from the residents and approach Wayne County in numbers, you know? It's gone on too long.
Well, maybe we could post that we have the ability to do online petition signing. We've done that, you know, in different things, but either that or have them, you know, come in. Best to be doing it is online, you know, register as a resident, your address, and that gets a number.
Okay, yeah, I kinda agree with that, man, I agree with that. But, you know, how many people don't have computers or that don't know the slightest?
Well, they could come in and fill it out here, you know.
I think we need to send a letter to them. Spend the money and send the letter to them with whatever they need to fill out, so they could fill that out, then return it to the township. It just, you know, this online thing, that's cool for all of us that are computer illiterate or literate and know how to respond to something. But, you know, I think the only way to do it is send them a letter and let them know in black and white what's going on, that we need support to, for lack of better words, get Wayne County to respond once and for all.
Right.
And it's not just the way they respond, you know, they come out like the one at Judd Road, with just, you know, in the recent thaw we had, okay, was ridiculous. I mean, the Chief Good, you know, he put out a video of showing, you know, him trying to respond on it. My daughter trying to take my 90-year-old mother to a doctor's appointment. She did a video on it. Channel 4 actually put it on the evening news. She actually got 2 million hits on TikTok from that, and that's a lot of hits.
Yeah.
2 million, and it's still climbing, you know.
Well, I think, Tim, you know, I agree. I have no issue mailing them out something. You know, I was just given options where people didn't have to mail it back. They could do it online also, make it quick.
And put that information on the letter.
I think what you just said shows that for whatever reason, the issue's never gonna get solved until all these roads are paved. You have Channel 4.
I
No,
don't want to interrupt you, but I think that's not entirely true. What they use when they come out and do these roads, the product that they put down, Matt, on these roads, if they wait a week in between putting chloride on it, they'll come out and scrape your road. Everything's fine and dandy. It's drivable, okay? If they wait a week to come out and put the chloride on it, it blows away. It's what they're fixing. It's just a patch is all they're doing. If they came out and actually put the right product down on these roads and kept doing that, the roads wouldn't be in this shape.
Well, I think you're right, and what I was gonna say is they're putting dirt. That's why they're calling it a dirt road.
Right.
They're putting a dirt and gravel mix. It's not a gravel road.
No, it's not.
It is a dirt road.
It is a dirt road.
And where I was going with it was, we have Channel 4 advertising it. They're getting 2 million hits on a video. Did you see 20 county trucks down here taking care of our roads?
Not a one.
Right. My point was, it doesn't matter what we say or do, they've never taken care of it. We've been complaining about this for 50 years, and I know that because Mary Band, who used to come to our meetings, been coming to meetings for 50 years. She's had the same complaint every year about our roads in the residents. For me, yes, if they gravel them and put the right and make it better. But I was just saying, it's never gonna get fixed where you're never gonna have these problems unless they get paved.
It would be a lot.
It'd be a lot
less,
paved.
a lot less hardship if they did it right.
I sent an email to Commissioner Wilson asking him, you know, we know the answer. How many miles of our roads are dirt? And then tell me how many miles of our roads in the last 25 years have you paved? I said, that's gonna be telling to how well Wayne County has improved our roads out here, or improved our living. It's almost nil, other than the spot there on Fenster Sub. They haven't done anything in 25 years, probably nothing in 35 years. And that shows that they've done nothing to improve the roads out here significantly. And it goes back to, I love petitions, I love getting all the people calling, but I said this at the last meeting when the liaison to the Wayne County Sheriff's was here. Why are we having to call? This is nothing new. They know what happens when it thaws. They know the conditions that the roads get in every year. They've had the calls from us for 50 years. They know what happens. Why do we have to get, they hit 100 complaints, we need to go and mobilize? They should be out here taking care of the roads without us having to even call them. That's what you call regular maintenance or taking care of the roads. You shouldn't have to make a complaint.
I
to
don't
get them
think
to
they
come out.
take it serious enough. You know, I've told this story a million times. My 90-year-old mother laid on the floor for an hour and 10, Beth tried her best. It took Beth like 35 minutes to get from Sumpter Road to Carr Road, okay? Okay, the ambulance didn't get there until an hour and 10 minutes after it was called, okay? I have my 90-year-old mother laying on a marble floor bleeding out, okay? By the time they got there and got her on a stretcher, when we went to clean up the blood in the floor, that pillow weighed 10 pounds. My mother was about to bleed out on that floor, waiting on first responders and an ambulance. Not our fire department's fault, not our police department's fault. It's Wayne County's fault for the road condition. What do we have to do to emphasize how serious this is to Wayne County?
Well, I think-
It's life or death. If I was having a heart attack on Carr Road and Chief Goody tried to get to me down Judd Road or any of these roads, Carr Road, I'm gone. I'm dead. You might as well, say your prayers. Every second, every millisecond counts in an emergency like that.
Yep. Well, I think, what we have before us with the Judd Road project shows they're not willing to pay to improve our roads. They want us to fund it.
What do we need to get legal with them? Is
I don't know.
that the only thing that's gonna open their
I think
eyes?
the only way we're gonna get the roads fixed is if we somehow come up with the money to do it, because they have not been willing to spend the money.
I can't accept that.
I don't wanna
We pay
accept it either, I'm
tax-
just
we
saying
pay-
the reality.
We can't, and you don't realize what these people are going through unless you live on that gravel road. And your daily thing going on. They don't realize it. I want every one of them fancy dudes that were sitting around at that table down there in Wayne County the other day, I want them to come out there and bring their nice fancy cars, and I want them to come out here and drive up and down these roads, Judd Road, Carr Road, all the roads. And I want, to see how they like it. When you jar it's like riding a frickin' bull, Jar your brains out, and do that on a daily basis. Every time you have to go to the store and get bread or something for the household, you dread it. You gotta say, or you forget something at home. Oh, darn, I gotta go back home. Here we go again, And what it does to your body.
Right. Well, I think, we have this and we're talking about, I think we should make a motion to approve this,
just do it right
declaration
now.
of public safety emergency. I'll make the motion to declare it.
I'll support it.
I just don't understand, how they don't understand what's going on. It's a serious thing. A very serious,
It is, Tim,
it's
and-
life
and-
or death.
And you're right, this is something that they've ignored because it's been going on for decades. I mean, this is nothing new in our community. And we got more and more traffic, which is causing the roads to be more and more tore up, but they're not doing anything to improve it. So,
I know, I've dealt with it for the last 37 years, and I'm done with it,
Tim, we got the motion and support for the draft.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
And I'll make a motion to accept the TM report.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Treasurer Patterson?
On to something boring now. Numbers. So, no promises, just a heads up as to what I'm contemplating trying to do. Like, I love charts, graphs, numbers and all that, so I'm trying to, like, what I find myself doing when it comes to the treasurer's report, obviously everybody has this here, I didn't wanna just do a receive and file. But it helps me to know and to look back sometime, just a month or 2 months or 3 months to see historical of where things are at. So I'm trying to find a good balance between, more information, but not too overwhelming to where it's just like, wow, there's just a ton of numbers there, whatever. So, hopefully in the next couple months, I'll be able to bring something as maybe a revised treasurer's report. But Other than that, that's just something on the horizon. I'll just ask for a receive and file on the treasurer's report.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Board response.
I think we did that already.
Yeah, I think we did. Okay, we'll move on to new business. A, first reading only of proposed ordinance amendments, proposed amended letter of agreement with CWA.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chair, now that we have it on by, we have our representative here. I did have a couple of questions that I'd like to have run down on this, because this is the first read. Looking at, in the business registration, you know, they have exclusions for charitable organizations, political, churches and things. I didn't see anything in there that showed how we verify that when somebody says, I have a charitable organization, or I'm a political organization, shouldn't there be something where they have to turn in their registration for that to be exempt?
We would normally ask them for some documentation, whether it's to verify they're a 501c corporation or whatever other method that they went through to become exempt and nonprofit.
I just didn't know if we had to state it in the wording that you have to have a valid,
Oh.
you know, I don't think it says valid, it just says if you're a charitable organization or.
It's a good point. We can add some type of evidence-based verification.
The other section was the home businesses. And I know we're looking at removing home businesses out of the ordinance. And I wanted to see if we can have some discussion as we're approving this language, as we're doing the first reading, on how do we determine when it's, that fine line of when it's a home business and when it's really a commercial business that just is operating in a residential district? And you know, how do we determine when an inspection is actually, if they have customers coming to their location, should we be inspecting those locations for safety for those customers coming, right? It isn't a commercial business, but if they have a home business that's inviting customers to come in and interact in their building, whether it's look at products or anything else, shouldn't we be requiring some type of inspections? I know it was a drive-by before, which is not effective, but, you know, my concern is that fine line of people saying, I have a home business, but yet it's bringing traffic, it's bringing people to the house, and there's no way to figure out when does that cross the line for commercial, and when does it cross the line for public safety, that we need to ensure that the location that people are coming to are safe.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe your zoning code lays out the regulations and the restrictions for home-based businesses. It usually restricts how many visits per day or per month, that they have to provide on-site parking, not on-street parking. And eventually, if the outside appearance of the home starts to be more like a business than a home, and if the traffic in and out is causing disruption to neighbors because the volume is too heavy, probably the best thing to do is to measure it against your zoning regulations. Are they or are they not in compliance as a home-based business? And if the answer is no, talk with them about their options because they've become successful, obviously, and maybe it's time to move into a commercial space.
And I think you're hitting where I was going, was I think we need to make sure that we review our home-based part of that ordinance, because to me, when you take the licensing requirement away, it kind of makes the other part of it hard to enforce, right? You don't even know where they're at because they're not registered. And so people could be running home businesses, and now we don't even know where to go to check and see, are they following the ordinance? But I'm not sure that our ordinances are in a condition to, you know, be able to regulate. And we need to make sure that our home business regulations allow us to come in and do those inspections if you're having customers. But my concern is not having them registered. Now we don't know what they're operating there. Now we have to go and sit and watch and try to figure out what they're doing at that location if they're not registering what they're doing. So that was my concern. So if we could kind of flush that out as we go through that.
Yes, we can definitely do that.
Thank you, Chair.
I can give you one quick example from another community where it became a problem and how it was handled, and this is something to think about. In Ypsilanti Township, if you're familiar at all with Hewitt Road, from Michigan Avenue all the way up to Clark Road, I think by Trinity Health Hospital, there was a house on Hewitt, and the gentleman, he was very innovative. Before e-bikes were a thing, he invented his own e-bike, and he was selling them from home as a home-based business because the volume was so incredibly low. He didn't maintain any stock. He didn't advertise, so on and so forth. However, it caught on tremendously within a short period of time, and suddenly he had bicycle displays out in the driveway for people to see as they drove up and down Hewitt Road, and there was a lot of traffic in and out, and it became very obvious in talking with neighbors that this was no longer a home-based business. It was clearly a commercial business. And he went kicking and screaming to a commercial space in the city of Ypsilanti, and within 6 months was thanking us for causing that to happen because he had become so successful. And the neighbors were happy as well.
Super, thank you.
Mike, real quick, are you the one that I should reach out to talk about some of these? Are you the one that drafted these?
Jen Dufour and I worked on them together.
All right. I don't want to go through it tonight, but just.
I can answer any questions.
Okay, all right.
Any more questions? Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
We got a motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Moving on, B, approval to increase hours of part-time driver Roderick Thompson from less than 20 hours per week to 21 to 29 hours per week beginning April 1st, 2026.
So moved.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. C, approval to leave bank payout to Debbie Noble totaling $5,137.92.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Regrets?
Better do a roll call.
Okay, that was a really weak. Aye.
It's not a
Okay.
popular item.
Bowman, yes. Laporte, excused. Patterson,
Yes, with regrets, I guess, but yes.
okay. Fraser,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Rush,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
okay. Alrighty. Okay, moving on. D, approval to post human resources specialist finance assistant position with salary range of $75,000 to $85,000.
So moved.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. E, consider approval for the fire department to rejoin the Western Wayne County Mutual Aid Association with a re-entry fee of $12,634.50 and a yearly dues of $6,317.25 beginning July 1st, 2026.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. F, approval of remodeling project for township supervisors area not to exceed $140,500.
So moved with a roll call vote.
Support.
Discussion. If it could, just to jump right into it, Chair, like I'm kind of shocked at the numbers, not kind of, it's an understatement. When you and I spoke a couple weeks ago in your office and we were going over all this, the deputy supervisor said, we're looking at probably getting this, like maybe around like 50, 55, something like that, 60.
I didn't
No,
say that.
no,
I
nobody
didn't say
said
that.
That was our discussion, Mr. Rush.
I
And
never
then-
said,
And then when I talked to you, Mr. Bowman, you said, no, it's gonna be probably closer to 70. And I said,
I don't
okay.
remember that conversation.
Well, that was in your office.
No.
And then, when this came up, it was 140, and talking with both, it was like, well, we didn't get the PEG system figure, and that's about 11,000 for moving the PEG system.
No, it's like closer to 13,000 with the,
Okay.
with the
What's,
food.
what's the
And
PEG
and you have
system?
the furniture and everything.
All right, well, I think this, what's the PEG system here? 11,182.
But then you have the service agreement, which is another 1,900 or something like that.
Okay, well, I'm just looking, at moving it, relocating.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then-
the service agreement is something
Yeah.
separate, but anyway, it's like, for 140,000, just as a contractor, I just look at this and think it's just kind of crazy money. Like, you could, there's.
Bart,
Well-
I disagree with that.
Well, we can disagree, I guess that's why we're here, but to me, and I mean,
I
I've had
disagree with that.
two residents call, one resident text and just wanted me to voice their disapproval for it too as well, so I just, to me, it's just,
Chair?
it's
I guess
kind of crazy.
Bart, if you're,
I'm done.
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk over you. You know, my concern looking at this was, you know, that we don't have our budget. This is gonna go in the new year. And we don't have our budget yet. We've got $1 million set aside for Judd Road. We've got repairs across the street. I'd like to see where our cash position is and where we're projected. But we're also, I'd like to see us go out for bid on these. You know, our purchasing policy requires us to go out for bid over 15,000. And, you know, I thought tonight was us approving it and then going out for RFPs, but, you know, I contacted Township Manager Martin. He said it was for approval of the project, which, you know, I know that we have a policy that says we have to go out for bid when it's over 15.
We don't always follow that policy either, so. But, Tim, you want to try anything?
No, were you done?
Yeah, I think, you know, I'd like to see us get our budget so we know what we're spending, where our cash position is, because.
Well, this money was appropriated, right?
Well, yeah, when the supervisor's office submitted their budget numbers, that was included, 150,000.
Right, but this is going into a new budget year, we're not gonna get it done in this budget year, so, but, you know, in the PEG system, I understand that we need to move that. I'd like to see us have a mechanical room that's moved to. If we're gonna spend $11,000, I'd like to see it put with the phone system. All the mechanicals of our PEG system, our security
There's
system.
no room in that. You're talking about, what room are you talking about, Matt?
Where the copier is, where the phone system is.
Yeah, that's too
secure.
cramped.
That-
They've gotta have room to get to the
In my
back of that
office, Matt,
cabinet.
it's secure there.
Yep,
you
well,
know?
we could make it secure. I'm just saying, we're gonna spend $11,000 to move it, and it's not
There you
in our centralized mechanical room. I mean, most operations, you have a centralized mechanical room with your security system, your phone system, your PEG system, any other systems are all together in the same room, so that you have your backup batteries, everything is in one location. So, I mean, I'd like to see us consider that as part of this too. Because if you're gonna spend $11,000, if we have any other renovations that we wanna do, that system may have to get moved again. That said, I'd like to see us consider expanding. If we're gonna spend $140,000, I'd like to get more square footage with that money. We're running out of room. We got a township manager who has graciously said, "Don't move me," but he's in a shoebox.
We're actually creating room by moving that PEG system. We're making that office workable for the supervisor's office and the assessor's office.
Where we're taking away
And then
two offices.
we're actually gonna have a meeting room, so we don't have to stand around in the clerk's office like we have been since I've been in
And I know
office.
you're redesigning it, and it's a better design for that area, but we're not increasing the area, which we need more area.
Well, one thing at a time, I'd say.
Well, I'd take to spend that money and then, you know, look at putting on
Are
an
you done,
addition.
Tim?
Yeah, there were a few items on the, the things that we're doing, like the PEG system, that absolutely cannot go out for bid. That, that would void warranties that we have on existing equipment, and,
Yeah,
they're the ones that install
Those
it.
things are we normally do. When we only have one vendor, that's when we don't go out for bid. But on things like the 84,000 for the construction work and things, that would be something that, we would normally go out for bid. We've gone out for bid on everything else we did, the windows across the street, the roof here, we've done those bids.
Yeah, then it never gets done, Matt. I've been trying to do this for 5 years.
Every time we go out for an RFP, we do
Yeah,
get bids, and we
yeah.
do the work.
So just,
Okay,
that's all,
so-
those are my thoughts. I just would like to
Okay.
see us follow our procedure, and I'd like to know what our budget is, so we know where our expenditures are, so if we have to tighten our belts, we know where we can tighten.
So we'll go with a roll call vote on this thing. Do I have a motion
Yeah, you got a motion and a second.
and a second? So Bowman, yes. Laporte is excused. Patterson,
No.
Fraser,
Yes.
Addie,
No.
Rush,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
motion carried. Okay.
Chair, if I may?
Yeah, you have the
Oh.
verbiage on G?
Yeah, but before that, we need to get with, and Ken will probably be part of this, we need to get the information out to, the PEG system's gonna be down for a while. We need to get that information out to the public, via the website, maybe some postings. The timing of everything that's gonna happen with this project it's really critical.
Yeah, we have.
We're gonna drive Karen Woodington, she's gonna be a basket case at the end of this.
No,
And-
I don't think so, Tim. Not
Well,
sure.
you know what I'm
We've
saying?
already
She-
discussed this
She
many,
can,
many
she
times
can
over.
take it, but,
Yeah, she can take it.
yeah, it's just, it's gonna be disruptive in the supervisor's office, and the faster we can get it
Yeah,
done, the better.
it will be, but we've tried to minimize it. We've
Oh, yeah.
talked to her and the assessor and everybody, and they've agreed to.
Yeah.
So, okay, so,
And item G, the verbiage for that is set public hearing for 2026-2027 budget. Public hearing, March 10th at 6 PM.
okay,
So moved.
all in favor? We have
Aye.
support?
You need support here.
Somebody give us support down there.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Okay, the closed session, we're going into closed session, right?
Do you wanna, do you have any announcements? You wanna get those out of the way? Then we can do closed session?
No. No, I don't, unless anybody else does.
Well, I mean, that way they don't have to stay.
Right.
Just wanna get the announcements out of the way. If not, then just closed session for MCL 15.268C, which is to discuss updating and strategy as it relates to union negotiations.
So moved.
Report.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call, please, roll call. on
No
that.
roll call. Bowman, yes. Laporte excused. Patterson,
Yes.
Fraser,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
yeah, Rush,
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
motion carried.
I'll make a motion to come back in from closed session.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Motion to adjourn?
Nope, Chair, I'll make a motion to direct the attorney and the township manager to move forward as discussed in the closed session.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support?